In 1932, a man was shot and killed in the heart of this desert. His body lay undiscovered for days. His murder was never solved. This is just one of the secrets hidden in the land they once called El Despoblado. In the far southwestern corner of Texas, pressed against 118 miles of the Rio Grande, lies a land of such immense scale and isolation that for centuries it had a name that meant the uninhabited land. This is Big Bend National Park, the first national park in Texas and one of the most remote in the lower 48 states. It's a place defined by extremes, oppressive heat, and crippling cold, deadly drought, and flash floods. This inherent harshness dissuaded most aspiring settlers for generations, creating a sanctuary not just for wildlife, but for a profound sense of solitude. The landscape itself is the primary character in every story told here, a powerful defining force that shapes all who enter.
The spirit of the Big Bend is humble. That's what it is.
I've heard over and over and over, it's indescribable. It's something that you feel.
You can define who you are, and you're going to find out who you are because there isn't any fluff to hide from.
Some people come here and they just can't imagine that this exists in Texas. Other people come here and they can't wait to get away because it's such an alien environment. They're not comfortable here. They either love it or hate it.
In my opinion, the spirit of the Big Bend is really adventure. Folks come out here to find a little piece of Texas that is almost undiscovered. It's a step back in time. It's a way to actually experience unplugging.
Words do not do credit to the Big Bend.
To understand Big Bend is to understand three distinct worlds stacked one on top of the other. It begins in the Chihuahuan Desert, the largest protected portion of this ecosystem in the United States. But rising from the desert floor, like an island in a dusty sea, are the Chisos Mountains, the only mountain range in the United States fully contained within a single national park. Here, at over 7,800 feet above the heat, relic forests left over from the late Pleistocene era survive. A cool, moist world away from the desert below.
The Chisos Mountains in the far background here, though, are tertiary age igneous formations that date back 30 to 40 million years ago. The High Chisos, the South Rim, the Casa Grande Peak, Lost Mine, those are lava flows that were out on the surface that were volcanic in origin, where the lava spread out across the surface.
And binding it all together is the lifeblood, the Rio Grande. The river carves canyons 1,500 feet deep and creates a ribbon of green that has sustained life here for thousands of years. This incredible diversity of habitats supports over 1,000 species of plants and more species of birds, over 430, than any other national park in the country. This concept of an isolated world, a sky island, extends beyond the mountains. In an age of encroaching development, Big Bend itself has become an island of preserved wilderness, a sanctuary of natural darkness in a world growing ever brighter. Be sure to hit like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell so you can join us for every Wild Yeti Films adventure. And if you have any amazing Big Bend stories or photos you'd like to share, be sure to send them to info@WildYetiFilms.com. We'd love to showcase your expeditions as well. To truly know this land, you have to read its stories, written in stone. A history that begins 500 million years ago when this desert was the floor of a warm, shallow ocean.
Big Bend, 100 million years ago till about 60 million years ago, was an inland sea. So we've got a lot of limestone that has a lot of marine life fossils in it. So a lot of clam shells is very common to find down here, old fossilized clam shells. And then about 60 million years or so ago, the area started to get uplifted by an event known as the Laramide orogeny. started to raise all this land up with a lot of volcanic activity. And as that land was raising up, the ocean kind of drained out,
leaving behind the massive limestone deposits that now form the towering walls of Santa Elena and Boquillas canyons. This was the age of dinosaurs, and their fossils, from flying pterosaurs to massive crocodiles, lie buried here in abundance.
And then the volcanic activity died off and now kind of left us with this very arid climate, this very dry desert climate here.
This violent, chaotic geology created a jagged, broken, and challenging environment. A crucible that would forge a specific kind of resilient, self-reliant human character. This was land that shaped the people.
People come to expand, to discover their life, and they just need a place where they can lay face down on the earth and cry it out. I believe truly that part of the desert has served so many people to rejuvenate their spirit, to rejuvenate their life, to be able to come alive again.
The violence that shaped the land echoed in the lives of those who tried to tame it. For centuries, this was a contested frontier, a battleground for the Spanish, the Apache, and the Comanche, whose well-worn trails cut right through the heart of the modern park on their way to and from Mexico. By the early 20th century, miners and ranchers dotted the landscape, living by their own rules in a land where law was a distant concept, and sometimes the silence of the desert was broken by a single, final gunshot. This is the grave of Juan de Leon. On July 19, 1932, just a few years before this land would become a park, he was shot and killed while riding his horse. His body lay undiscovered for days in the brutal Texas summer sun. So decomposed, he had to be buried right where he fell. The case went to a grand jury, but no one was ever charged. Stories swirled. Was he involved with ranchers running contraband across the border during the Depression? Did he cross the wrong person? Or was he simply in the wrong place at the wrong time, the victim of random, cruel violence? This case remains one of Big Bend's coldest, a stark reminder of the mysteries the desert holds. That hard, independent spirit of the old frontier never truly left, it just evolved. It became a conscious act of preservation against the forces of a changing world. And you can feel it today in the people who call this place home. This spirit of preservation found its ultimate expression in 1944. As the world was consumed by the Second World War, as American and Allied troops stormed the beaches of Normandy on D-Day, a different kind of history was being made half a world away. Just 1 week after the D-Day landings, on June 12, 1944, Big Bend was officially established as a national park. President Roosevelt himself accepted the deed from the state of Texas. It became known as Texas's gift to the nation, a gift born from a violent, chaotic past, offered as a promise for a peaceful, enduring future. The stories of the Big Bend are written on the land, in stone and in blood. But when the sun sets, the greatest story of all is revealed. A story that most of us have lost and may never see again. In a world where 80% of Americans can no longer see our own galaxy, this land holds the line. It is a sanctuary of shadow, with the darkest measured skies in the continental United States. Next time on Expedition Tales of the Big Bend, we journey into the last great darkness. And we'll discover what our ancestors saw every single night, a river of a billion suns stretching from horizon to horizon.